Our final voice is Eddie Cohen. He's the president and CEO of the Urban League of Southwest Ohio, which helps transform the community through financial empowerment. He says his people are first responders in a way, helping folks with training and lifting up. I asked Cohen what he thought was critical to finding solutions at this fractured moment in time.
Not to sound cheesy, but it starts with the heart, of making sure that we have environments where we're around each other, where we can learn and live together. When you're proximate with people, you understand them, so there's one thing to have, a history of racial inequity. It's another thing to have a neighbor or a social circle with people who look like you. It changes the dynamic of how you view people. Now, from a resource standpoint, what we can do is really lift up historically marginalized businesses and leadership. If we want to create a society where everyone belongs, you think about the women's movement. It was really imperative that we put forth women leadership and uplifted that. When we think about these deep and painful issues around racial equity, I think one of the things we can do is support things that is Black-led, Black-owned from an economic standpoint. But there's no easy answer when you think about policing issues. Cincinnati has done some incredible work with the collaborative that Reverend Lynch and a bunch of other folks have worked on. So we're actually ahead of most cities as far as police reforming, and Chief Isaac is very accessible to the community. We just have to build upon the work that we've already done. And I think we can get to a place where we have an equitable city for everyone.
Do you think that what has happened in the last week is going to propel that forward, solutions forward?
Sure. I think we're at a critical point in society. We're at a critical point in Cincinnati. Do we go backwards or do we go forward? I think the overwhelming majority of people want to move forward. They want to create a city where everyone belongs. And I think we just need the political will and the fortitude to do that.
He told me equity is not a one-stop shop, and this issue is bigger than policing. So many problems are interconnected: poverty, healthcare, jobs, and affordable housing. Plus, all those issues impact perception and policing. You have to tackle it all, and tackling it means doing something. The people we interviewed say volunteer where and when you can. Vote. Find your way to be an agent of change. It's more than words, it's action. It's hoped that will be the evolution from the protests, which are happening again this evening. We're now into the fourth day of protests in Cincinnati. As we take you live to downtown, tonight the curfew goes into effect in just minutes after being moved from 9 p.m. just last night. But as you can see, time on a clock is not stopping demonstrators. We have several crews downtown tonight, and we will bring you the events, of course, as they unfold. We thank you for spending this past hour with us for a conversation people across the country are having. These are not easy times. These are not easy issues, especially when you consider their scope. But you have to start somewhere. We sincerely hope this was a start. Be safe, be well, good night.